Good morning, everybody. We'll begin today's session now. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, first question. You have to identify the option that will replace the question mark. You're given here 4 options. Which of the option A, B, C, D, which will replace the question mark that is given? Now, if you look at the 4 the images which are provided to you, 1, 2, 3, and the 4th image. In 1, 2, and 3, the pencil size is increasing gradually. So obviously the next image, in the next image, in the 4th image, the pencil size will increase, but it won't increase to so big, but it will be looking something like how we see in B and C. So A and D are both wrong here. Between B and C, if you look at it, the sandals position is something which is different. So here in the first case, it is vertical, then it is rotated anti-clockwise. Where further it is rotated anti-clockwise, which means in the 4th position, it will again come back to vertical if it rotates anti-clockwise. So C wala option is correct, B will be wrong. Henceforth, option C is the correct one. Okay, we'll move to the next one. Each of the shapes is associated with one or more alphabets. You have to identify the alphabet or alphabets for the last shape. ये वाला जो shape है उसका alphabet कौन सा होगा is what you have to find. Okay, let's do this. So here we have a 3-sided figure and C letter. C ka position in the alphabetical order A to Z is 3rd. Also, it corresponds to the 3-sided figure. Likewise, we have a 6-sided figure. If I find the position of F in the alphabetical order, it will be 6. So that is also correlating very well. H ka 8th letter hai, and we also have an 8-sided figure. So that also correlates. H is 8-sided and then D is 4-sided. So we have a 4-sided and an 8-sided that is correlating. In the question figure that we have to find, we have a 8-sided figure. 3 on one side, 3 on the other side, 1 on top and 1 on bottom. So it's an 8-sided figure. So the letter corresponding to that is H. Henceforth, option A is the one which is the correct answer. Okay, we'll move to the next one. Which shape will exactly fit in the figure 1 without leaving any gaps? Given that the shapes can be rotated, you can rotate the shapes. You have to identify which of this option can fit in the gap without leaving any kind of a spacing that is there. Okay, so here we are given these positions. So if I look at the spacing, ye wala spacing in all the options, this spacing actually happens here in B. A mein it's this much, C mein it's this much, D mein it's this much. If you look at the dimension of that spacing, it is very similar to how we see as in A. So B, C and D, which have small spacing, are wrong. Option A is the one which is the correct answer. Okay, we'll move to the next one. A cube, a cuboid, a cone, and a sphere were developed from an experimental material in vacuum. In vacuum, the combined mass of the cuboid and sphere is equivalent to the combined mass of cube and cone. The mass of cuboid is equivalent to the combined mass of sphere and cone. The sphere weighs 2 kilos and occupies a volume of 62.5 cubic centimeter in vacuum. One of the properties of this material is such that the length of the side of the cube doubles when you expose it to air. How many cubes are needed to fill in a tank of dimension 50 by 50 by 50, which is in air? Okay, well, let's do this. So here we'll write all the condition. Combined mass of cuboid plus sphere is equal to combined mass of cube plus cone. What we also know is combined mass of cuboid. Sorry, the mass of cuboid is equivalent to combined mass of sphere plus cone. And we know sphere ka mass is 2 kilos. We'll replace the sphere ka value here. So cuboid will be equal to 2 kilos per cone. Then sphere ka value and this equation will replace here in this equation. So cuboid is 2 plus cone. Sphere ka value is 2 kilos. cube we don't know, and then cone. So cone will negate, and then the mass of cube will come to 4 kilos. What we also know is volume. If I do a volume versus weight analysis, for the sphere which is of 2 kilos, the volume of the sphere is 62.5. What we also know is the cube is of a volume of 4 kilos. So 4 kilo weight will occupy what volume? So the volume of cube will be equal to cross multiplication 4 multiplied by 62.5 divided by 2, which is equal to 125 cubic centimeters. This is volume of cube. Now the volume of cube is side ka cube, which is equal to 125. Therefore, side of the cube, which is cube root of 125, will be 5 centimeters. We now know that the cube is 5 by 5 by 5 in vacuum. This is vacuum, okay? So in air, what we know is side doubles. By the last part, the length of the cube doubles when exposed to air. So side of the cube will be in air will be equal to 5 multiplied by 2, which is 10 centimeters. So number of cubes to fill the tank of 50 by 50 by 50 will be upon 10, by 10 by 10 will be, ये ऊपर 10 negate हो जाएगा, will be 125 cubes. Okay, answer is 125, which is option B. Okay, we'll move to the next one. Shown below are different views of a small ball. You have to identify its top view. ये बॉल का आपको टॉप व्यू ढूंढना है. Okay, front, back, left or right view दिया है यहाँ पे. If you look at the front view, you will observe that there's a line which starts on the top, which I mean the front view में the line starts from the top यहाँ पे. And also if you look at the right side view, we see this line also happening, which means कि we need a top view जहाँ पे नीचे के side पे we have a connection happening, and also on the right side we have some connection happening here. This is happening only in one position, like A, जहाँ पे नीचे भी है और side में भी है. So option A is the one which is the correct answer. Okay, we'll move to the next one. The following figure is cloned and the cloned image is reflected along the XY axis. How many rectangles are present in the resultant figure? This figure is cloned along the XY axis, which is the dotted line. How many figure will be there? How many rectangles will be there in the resultant figure? Okay. So this is what the resultant figure will look like when you clone it. यहाँ पे 8 आएंगे rectangles which are squares, and rectangles are the same. So 8 rectangles here, 4 rectangles, 3 rectangles here, 4 rectangles here, 4 rectangles here, and 2 rectangles here. When you add all of them up, you find the answer to be 25. The correct answer is 25. Okay, we'll move to the next one. Given the following equation, how many parrots are equal to 1 elephant? We're given here 2 equations. We have to find how many parrots are equal to 1 elephant. So the first equation will be parrot plus 2 fish is equal to 4 elephant. The next equation says 2 parrot plus elephant is equal to fish plus parrot. This can also be written as parrot plus elephant is equal to fish. This I can replace here to find parrot plus 2 parrot plus 2 elephant is equal to 4 elephant. Therefore, 3 parrots is equal to 2 elephant, which implies elephant is equal to 1.5 parrot. The answer is henceforth 1.5. Okay, because we have to find how many parrots are equal to 1 elephant. Here we found 2 elephants, so हमको 1 elephant का ढूंढना था. So 1 elephant is equal to 1.5 parrots. Okay, we'll move to the next one. Shown below in the figure 1 is the layout of a chessboard with one knight and several pawns. Given that the knight cannot land on any square that has a pawn, but can jump over it. You cannot land on the pawns, which are the pawns. You cannot land over the pawns, but you can jump over it, which is possible. These are pawns. You can jump over the pawns. What is the least number of steps required for the knight to reach square X? Knight यहाँ पे है, is the knight has to reach here. You have to find the minimum steps required to reach this position. This is how the knight can move. Okay, let's do this. So the knight can move in this position from first, फिर second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, and eighth. So total 8 position में the knight will be able to reach the X marked square. Okay, we'll move to the next one. Shown below is a fan with red colored patterns on it. When it rotates, the pattern makes circles. How many red circles will be seen when the fan rotates? When this fan rotates, there will be the circles getting found. How many circles will be seen in this position? Because of the pattern that is there on the fan. Okay. So these are all the circles that will be formed. So the total number of circles that are there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Answer is 8 circles formed. Okay. We'll move to the next one. A 12 by 12 by 12 centimeter wooden cube is painted and its 4 views are shown below. The cube is sliced into 64 smaller equal sized cubes of 3 by 3 by 3 centimeters. How many of these small cubes will have exactly one green and exactly one orange face in the same cube? Okay, we are looking for cubes with exactly one green and one orange face. If you look at the cubes, it has three orange faces and 3 green faces, which means that though all the faces which are happening along this edge, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, along all these 6 edges will have exactly one green and one orange face, like how we see this edge as one orange and one green. Within this, the number of cubes that will be formed will be on the corners 2 and then 2 in the middle. These 2 cubes in the middle will have exactly one green and one orange face. Like these, we have 6 such edges. So 6 edges multiplied by 2 cubes on each edge, which is equal to 12 cubes. Answer is 12. Okay, we'll move to the next one. How many alphabets using the font shown below when flipped on the horizontal axis can still be read as capital alphabets in the same font? Okay. You're given here a font style. When you flip the font style along the horizontal axis, how many capital alphabets will be read in this same font? So the number of alphabets that will be read in the same font when you flip along the horizontal axis will be B1, C, D, E, H, I, K, M, O, W, and X. Answer is 11 alphabets. M and W. M को आप rotate करो horizontal axis. M को rotate करो horizontal axis पे. It will become W and W will become N. So that's why we have to consider both. Okay. We'll move to the next one. Figure 1 has been constructed by overlapping some alphabets. Assuming that the alphabets may be rotated, how many alphabets from figure 2 cannot be overlapped to fit within the figure 1? How many alphabets from the figure 2 cannot be overlapped to fit in the figure 1? First, we'll see which of the alphabets can be overlapped. The alphabets that can be overlapped are B, C, D, E, F, H, J, L, M, N, O, and then P. Last one. So 9 alphabets can be overlapped. Total alphabets are 26 minus 9, yielding 17 alphabets which cannot be overlapped here. Answer is 17. Okay. With this, we'll end today's session here. Thank you so much for your time.